him. And God is still saving people out of the occult today. He's doing it the same way He saved you and me. There's another important key to understanding this text, and it's that word swallow. When Moses or Aaron's staff swallowed up the other staffs, that word is bala, Hebrew verb not used again until Exodus chapter 15. When Moses sings a song of triumph after they are delivered, he says that God stretched out His right hand and the earth swallowed up the Egyptians. That's the only two places that Bala is used in the book of Exodus. The snake swallowing the snakes and the Egyptians being swallowed by the earth. Not coincidental. And then, one of the most beautiful chapters in the whole Bible, Isaiah chapter 25, the prophet speaks of a heavenly feast with rich food and fine wine. All of God's people from across the nations are there. No more tears, no more reproaches. All is new. They waited for God's salvation, and God has finally brought it. And Bala is used twice in Isaiah chapter 25. God will swallow up the covering that was spread over the nations. What is this covering that God is going to swallow up? The prophet says that covering is death. He will swallow up death forever. Y'all already know where I'm going next. Paul gives his dissertation of heaven in 1 Corinthians 15, how we who die in Christ will be raised like Christ was raised. And he breaks out in praise at the end of that passage because death has been swallowed up in victory. Indeed, death has lost its sting. We see the beginning fruit of Isaiah chapter 25 come to fruition when Christ was raised from the dead, and we too will be raised. But how did God swallow death? We read over that so quickly, that death is swallowed up in victory. What on earth does that even mean? How did God swallow the covering that remains over the nations? God ate death. We imagine Moses' serpent triumphantly eating all the other ones, which sounds cool. But for God to taste death Himself, the triumph was not apparent right away. Jesus drank the cup of death for us. Jesus swallowed it down to the dregs on the cross. He became sin for us who knew no sin. He died the death we deserved. He didn't just make death go away or disappear. He died in our place as our substitute. The victory would come 3 days later when God raised Him up. And the victory comes for you and for me when we place our faith in Christ. That's when death loses its sting, because it means that you and I will never die the death that we deserve. So when we take